An educational carol inspired by the 1983 report, A Nation at Risk. I wonder if there's anything good to watch on TV. Grey's Anatomy. No. Dragon Ball Z.
This is a friendly reminder to all U.S. citizens and workers to file taxes by this evening's deadline. State representatives hope to increase school budgets from revenues gained this tax year.
What? Taxes for schools? Turn that off. Rats! Another year's worth of my hard-earned money gone to daycare for your kids. Never had a single child. I never used the school system. I can't think of a single reason to care about the American educational system. Bing! Ah! What's happening?
I am the spirit of American education, and I am here to tell you of your journey yet to come. You will take 3 journeys this evening. No more questions. Follow me.
Well, that was odd. I'm right where I started. It must be all in my head. The TV's on. That's weird. I didn't turn it on. Change the channel? I didn't change the channel. Dallas, cheers. Wait a minute. This looks like an I Love the 80s countdown.
On this 4th day of April, 1983,
Huh?
the National Commission on Excellence in Education released its publication, A Nation at Risk. This report warns against a rising tide of mediocrity in the American schools. Among their findings, over the last decade, SAT verbal scores have dropped 50 points. SAT math scores are down 40 points. Among current high school students, 80% cannot write a persuasive essay, and 40% cannot draw inferences from written material. This truly could be the next great crisis for Americans to face.
You took me back to 1983 for this? I told you I don't have kids. I know how to draw inferences, and I certainly can write an essay. Teachers are just being too soft on kids. Things like art and feel-good projects. That's the problem. We need to get back to the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. Not to mention, this was 25 years ago. If this had really been an issue, we would have crazy problems like a collapsing economy, failing U.S. industry, and degrading international relations.
It's now time to continue on our journey.
Am I home? Am I home again?
Same place, different time. Let's see what's on.
Well, yep, it's 2008, but why are we here? I live here, and I can tell you there's no problem in 2008. I see those kids get off the bus every day. The neighbor's son just got into the University of Maryland. A guy at the office was showing around his kids' report cards, straight A's. Sure, there may have been a problem in the 80s, but we addressed it.
Are you sure?
A Nation at Risk, 25 years later. The Strong American Schools Association has issued the following statement. Stunningly few of the Commission's recommendations have actually been enacted. Now is not the time for more research, more reports, or more commissions. Now is the time for action. We must find a way to save our schools.
Fine, our schools aren't making officials happy. But what does? I still don't see why I should really care. What do schools have to do with childless adults like me? With our nation as a whole? With anyone except my neighbors with kids?
I was hoping I wouldn't have to show you this.
My home! You did this! Bing!
No, this wasn't me. This was the result of a failed educational system. Citizens never learned to be active participants in democracy, so citizens with and without children can no longer support a progressive government. The infrastructure, among other things, has fallen apart. The U.S. workforce became less and less skilled. Industry left and people, both with and without kids, can't find jobs. And finally, without intellectuals, the global market lost faith in American goods. The economy is suffering.
But what about the American spirit? Why haven't we joined together and solved this problem?
American spirit? What American spirit? Without a public school system, there was no way to join such a diverse mass of people. Common culture has been lost.
This is awful. Now I understand. Take me back to 1983.
1983? You mean 2008?
No, I'm going to learn from a nation at risk. I'm going to fight for the recommended changes.
My work here is done. So what changes are you going to fight for?
Well, the commission made 38 recommendations. They were divided across 5 major categories: content, standards and expectations, time, teaching, leadership, and fiscal support. We need things like 4 years of English, 3 years of mathematics, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, and 1/2 year of computer science for high school students. We need a major transition point from one level of schooling to another, and particularly from high school to college. There should be 7-hour school days, as well as 200 to 220 days school year. We need to be paying our teachers more, a professionally competitive, market-sensitive, and performance-based salary. And lastly, we need the federal government to play an essential role in helping to meet the key needs of students. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of An American Educational Carol. The Spirit of American Education was played by Christy Richards. Ding! The Citizen was played by Katrin Bangert. The Television was played by Damon Meladones. Yeah. I have the best visual aid ever. Give me an A. My boyfriend's great.